I feel like Cassandra. I'm losing my mind. I've been telling you for a year the fascists are obviously going to post their goons outside the voting booths on election day under the pretext of stopping illegal immigrants from voting. And from that point on, it's Russian style elections for the foreseeable future. It's their obvious move. It is so obvious there might as well be astronomical portents for it. In fact, they're so brazen about it because they think there is nothing you can do to stop it. I think they're wrong. I think they move too soon, but more on that later. For now, I'm going to repeat what I said, and while I do this, I want you to focus on your heartbeat. Pay attention to your heartbeat while I speak. If nothing changes, in 276 days, the fascists are going to post their thugs outside the voting booths under the pretext of stopping illegal immigrants from voting, and then they will not let observers in. And then it's Russian-style election for the foreseeable future. Now, when I said that, you could feel your heart beat faster because it was scary. You're scared, right? You should be. I'm Canadian and I'm terrified. If you guys are Germany in the 1930s, that makes us Poland in the 1930s. So it's normal to be scared, and in fact, if you're not scared, it's because you are very stupid. But we need rational action even if we are scared. At times like these, I like to imagine my body is a company. I'm the CEO and all my feelings are VIPs. Maybe you don't like some of the VIPs, but they're all useful. You need to listen to all their reports. Would you ignore one of your VIPs report because you didn't like them personally? Of course not. It's irrelevant. Payne is your most useful employee and he's not getting fired. Fear is your second most useful employee. And now, denial. Denial is not a feeling. Can you feel denial? There's no place in your body where you can feel denial. It's not like fear. Denial is your CEO's bodyguard. He shouldn't speak up at board meetings, but he's super eager. It happens. He's still a good employee. If he speaks up at board meeting, we say thank you, but we don't listen. What we don't do is let him keep fear out of the boardroom. We listen to all our VPs. Because you can tell denial not to let fear inside the boardroom, but fear is still outside the door screaming. You can pretend not to hear them, but they're still there. So, let's come to a rational decision. Let's listen to all of our VIPs one after the other. Back to my point. Let's think about the November election. Let's try to picture that today. It's 276 days from now. I'm going to repeat myself. And you're going to listen to the VP of fear while you try to imagine what's going to happen. On that day, if nothing changes, the fascists are going to post their thugs at the voting booth under the pretext of stopping illegal immigrants from voting, and they will steal the election. It is plain as the day. What does fear tell us? Fear is screaming that it's true. If nothing changes, the fascists win. So, and what else does fear tell us? Fear tells us the current situation is untenable. Are you seriously supposed to get into an unmarked car with random masked men who tell you they're the police? Like, even if you have your papers, they can just say they're fake. That is completely crazy. Just thinking about the situation makes me terrified. So, fear is telling us the current situation cannot stand, and it tells us that the future, if nothing changes, is unacceptable. So fear tells us we need to do something. So we say, thank you for your report, fear, and we listen to the other VIPs. What does anger have to say about the situation? Obviously, anger agrees with fear. We saw the video. I didn't watch the video, Alex Pretty, but we saw the video of Randy Good's murder. We agree. Anger agrees with fear. What about empathy? Empathy also agrees with fear. Something has to be done. Now, as the CEO, I agree with those three VIPs. Something has to be done. So now the question becomes, what can you do? What have you tried so far? The protests are not working. They're just going to keep ignoring the protest for 276 days and then it will be too late. It's that simple. The court challenges are not working. They're going to keep ignoring the court challenges for 276 days and then it will be too late. It's that simple. Asking politicians is not working. They're going to keep ignoring the politicians for 276 days and then it will be too late, and it's that simple. Tim Walz is an old man. What do you want him to do? Do you want him to fight the ice goon himself? They're just gonna kill him. Tell me what is the perfect move that Tim Walz could make to end this situation or stop bothering him. Tim Walz cannot save you. Now, arguing with fascists is not working. For the love of God, stop pointing out their hypocrisy. They love being hypocritical. They're just going to keep babbling about stupid bullshit for 276 days, and then it will be too late. It's that simple. So, the current way isn't working. People tell me we need to protest harder, make better court challenges, push the politicians harder. You need to make me an argument why that's going to stop them from stealing the election, or admit the truth. Tell me what's going to stop the fascists from just simply posting their thugs at the election booths and steal the elections. Or admit I'm right. Tell me what's going to stop them, or admit I'm right. Do you seriously believe they're just going to find their humanity if you ask them one more time? Do you think they're just going to not steal the election? Are you a child? Do you still believe in Santa Claus? You are smarter than this. It's denial speaking. So as the CEO, are you going to agree with denial or with fear? Are you going to agree with your bodyguard or with your VIPs? With your VIPs, obviously. So you need a new way. What else can we do? What else can you do? Can you unfuck yourselves? What if you shot some ICE thugs? It's brave, but you're gonna get killed and they're just gonna send more reinforcements. It's the same thing that's gonna happen if you assassinate their leaders. You see what happened with Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk? They love a martyr. Violence is their strength, and that is not where you must find them. So you cannot unfuck yourselves. You need someone else to save you. That is terrifying and humiliating, but it is what it is. We need to be realistic. First, we need to see who can even save you. Who even can save you? Can any politicians or lawyers do anything about this? No, we've been over this. They're just going to get ignored. It's that simple. Can the police do it? No. They're outnumbered and they have the same weapons as ICE. If they fought ICE, the fascists would just send reinforcements and purge the police leaders. And right now in a fight, the fascists, they would beat the police. And besides, there's no way for the police to organize without getting purged first. So are you completely fucked? Not necessarily. There is still one group of people who can save you. The only group of people who can save you is the army. The army would dissolve these cosplay thugs. I saw the video where the ICE goons, they're sleeping in the hotel and they left their guns in the car, and they're playing you in their car while they're asleep. Or I saw that video where the little pocket Nazi, he's trying to act hard and he's going, oh, clear the area, clear the area. He struggles with the gas grenade. He throws like 15 feet. The wind blows it back toward him. The ICE could clear out, the army could clear ICE out of Minnesota without taking a single casualty. It would be a lot easier than their Venezuela ups. They wouldn't even need to plan it. They could just roll up and do it today. Actually, they could do it with a single armored vehicle, not even a tank, like an IFV. Like maybe this is an evil thought, but I would love to see these clowns go against actual soldiers. It's like that meted up little sociopath. Like, it's like Call of Duty. I bet you would change your tune after half of your squads get literally cut in half by a single burst of autocannon fire. Shrapnel's wound don't heal when you suck on your thumb for 10 seconds. Did you know that? So that's not like Call of Duty. So what you need to do is to beg the army to stop the fascists from stealing the elections. They're the only one who can. You need to focus on the people who can save you. The only people who even can save you. Stop protesting ICE and start throwing parades for the military. Make signs that says save us and remember your oaths. What you want is for the military to come and hand donuts and coffee outside polling stations. They don't even have to come in. They just need to be there and make sure there's no violence and neutral observers are allowed. That's all they need to do. That is it. They don't even need weapons. The ICE thugs will not fuck with real soldiers, even if their weapons are not at hand. So that's what you need to do. You need to throw the military a parade. Fuck is ICE going to do about it? Are they going to roll up and gas a parade for the military? That's perfect. That plays right into your hands. Yeah, it's humiliating. It's humiliating. Yeah, it's humiliating to beg. But it is much, 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 much less humiliating than getting taken over by an orange pedophile. There is no non-humiliating way out of this situation. Forget about that. This is already humiliating on a cosmic level. I feel humiliated on behalf of humanity. Every day I pray there are no aliens watching this. So the reason why a parade for the military has a chance of working versus a protest against ICE is because the army are not all sociopaths. The ICE goons are selected specifically because they're sociopaths. If you're not a sociopath, you get thrown out of ICE. The army is not like that. Sure, there's some sociopaths in the army, but most people are just people who needed a job. So the army is going to care about a parade because they have normal human feelings. And yeah, it's true that the soldiers follow their orders, but that doesn't mean there's no feedback from below. If all the privates agree that they want to hand out coffee and donuts at the election, and they all come up to their sergeant like, hey boss, maybe you should do this. And then the sergeant agrees, and all the sergeants agree, and they go come up to their lieutenant and say, hey boss. Sure, the army is hierarchical, but it doesn't mean it's all one way. And now, I see arguments that people have told me against this idea. Someone has told me that it was an escalation to ask the army to oversee the voting booth. And I'm like, now, I understand we're on the same side, and your heart is in the right place, and God bless you. And I say this with kindness in your heart, but you are a stupid individual. An escalation at this stage, we'd be at war in the trenches, and people would be shooting at you, and you'd be like, oh, well, I'm gonna shoot back. We might cause an escalation. Do you even have a survival instinct? I'm also told it's risky because the army might take advantage of the situation to interfere in the election. What? What do you have to lose? Even if the army does use the situation to steal the election, you still end up with fascism anyways. It would actually be an improvement. It would be much less humiliating to get taken over by the army than by pedophiles who wear too much makeup. At least the army people are actually hard. I'm also told that the same person told me that they would love the army's support, but half of them are MAGA. Bruv, 100% of ICE is MAGA. And why are you asking them? When you're protesting ICE, you're asking them. And if you want the army's support, then work towards it. Throw them a parade. I've also been told that my idea has a low chance of success. My sibling in anti-fascism. If you had two heads, you would be twice as dumb. This is because your stupidity doesn't come from any sort of problem with your brain. It comes from your denial. If you had two brains, you would be twice as deep into denial. Your way has 0% chance of working. 0. At least my way has a chance of working. At least you will have tried everything. You will not have gone to your doom doing the same thing over and over again and denying it's not working until it's too late. I swear to God, if the fascists win, it's going to be because the anti-fascists are even dumber. So, make voting day the day the people throw the military a parade and the military hand out food. Make America the only country where a military parade is a parade for the military, not by the military. Doesn't that sound American as fuck? I mean, besides, a protest is just an angry parade anyways. If you are going to protest against ICE, then going to a parade for the military is just a matter of changing your sign and the place you're going. And also be selfish. A parade for the military is a lot safer than a protest against ICE.